Well, good afternoon, everyone. Meteorologist Michael Wilhite here with Southern Indiana Weather. I want to bring you a quick forecast update here. The deluge has begun. The first wave is now moving through the area. Let's sort of take a look at it here on the national map. There's the front, sort of stalled out to our west. Remember, I've said this thing is going to be a slow mover, and it's going to stall right over the area. Where it stalls at really going to depend here on where this high pressure is. And you can see with the ISO lines here how the pressure just sort of, well, it's not perfectly round. It sort of is elongated and bumpy, and it retreats and it expands back and forth, and that's pretty natural with what's going on here. And so what you have right now is the front is close enough here. The ridge is close enough, if you will. The front is stalled off here in Illinois rather than over us. That's allowed the focus of the heavy rain to be where it's at today, which we'll look at that position here in a minute. Eventually, though, that high pressure will move a little way, and that should allow more to come in over everybody. So if you're saying, well, where's the rain? Well, just enjoy the fact that you don't have it yet, but everybody's going to cash in on it over the next few days at some point in time. It's just a matter of when, not a matter really of if. You can see all of the flash flood warnings that are going sort of up and down on this because the rain is just sort of training right along the same path here, and that's because, again, these little impulses that are going to ride right up this stationary front as if it's a train track, and so the heavy rain is going to be very, very, very close to that. Now, we still have some very heavy rain down in New Orleans area. Down here in Louisiana, they don't need that, by the way. Some of them have had a couple of foot of rain over the past couple or 3 days down there. It's absolutely ridiculous insanity. That will eventually move on out, and if I just put a stop to this and go back, the analyzed low pressure on this whenever it was analyzed 3 hours or so ago was here, but really, I think what we would do is probably put that low pressure more along right here because there's the closed low on it. So it's now intersecting with the front, and that will allow that over the next couple of days to sort of ride the train tracks there, if you will, up into our area. So that will bring some more moisture and some very heavy rain with it, which is why we say multiple rounds of this are coming. This is not it. This is not all we're going to get. This is just a warning shot, if you will, and it's a pretty potent warning shot at that. Let's zoom in a little bit closer, and we'll put this here into motion, and you can get an idea of it. And you see all the flash flood warnings coming up around the area. Some very heavy rain has been noticed by this too. Just some absolute some just ridiculous totals here. They're just as the train of pain, and well, it just sort of keeps on coming here. Hold on just a second, folks. Okay, we're back here. My apologies. I needed to pull up a tool here, my ping tool. Let's look at totals just to give you an idea what has fallen around this area. There's the area that we've had the rain, and just look at some of these totals. Well, hold on. Gotta highlight this. Now we can go back over here. Look at this. 4.85 inches. They're around Mill Shows in Illinois. If you come out here into northern parts of Knox County, just look at some totals. That's 3.5 inches there. Let me turn off the flash flood warnings, and yeah, 3.5 inches there. Along with that, places here closer to the radar site, there's 2.9. I mean, you just get the idea. Even up here in Jasper, where the eastern part, the western part of the county has had a little bit of rain there. You're talking almost an inch of rain up there. But meanwhile, down here, the Southern Indiana Weather Office, no data because there's absolutely nothing's fell yet. You can see where this has fallen. All this is eventually going to move over, folks. It's really just a matter of time. So you see the kind of impressive rain totals that this, can get back here, and those kind of rain totals. Those are going to work their way over to us eventually. Everybody should at least eventually cash in on those kind of rain totals. And you can see there's more rain out here to our west. There's more rain down here. The rain is really just going to keep coming on. Now, because of that, of course, National Weather Service has issued flash flood watches across the area. There's the warnings there and the polygons there, but watches here just extend really all up and down from Arkansas all the way through Ohio. We zoom in on this, and pretty much everybody here in southern Indiana is underneath of that watch, even some of the counties here in Kentucky as well, the Owensboro and Henderson areas, even the Louisville area, metro area, they're included in those flash flood watches as well. Let's quickly time this out on future radar. The HRRR model is our highest res model. Here's what it does with that band as it moves through today, and you notice some very heavy rain with it. but you notice it starts to weaken that band eventually as we head towards the evening hours. Here we are at about 9 o'clock tonight, and it thins some things down. That's good. As I said for the past several days, if you've read my blog posts, if you've kept on with the updates, what I said, folks, is that it's going to come in multiple ways. You'll get a heavy band move in, you get a break before another heavy band moves in. It's not going to be a solid rain the entire time. This is pretty much happening according to plan here, but what you notice is another band as we move into the overnight hours. There's another band starting to organize itself and get fired up again, so that tomorrow morning we have another band there. We can look at another map here. This is the future radar from the NAM. It's a little lower resolution than that, but it gives you the idea. There's that heavy rain this afternoon, and it fades before you get into the overnight hours with potentially another wave, a second wave moving in with some heavy rain. And then tomorrow afternoon, you kind of get the same thing. You might dry out a little bit before another heavy rain moves through, and that's just going to be the story of the way this goes all throughout the modeling for the next several days. This modeling lasts out until Tuesday evening, and it's just wave after wave after wave of heavy rain. So the flash flooding potential is going to be there, and the totals that I showed you, 3, 4, and 5 inches from the train of pain there of rain just moving over you, that's going to be common with each of these waves. And so I think by the time this is all said and done, some of us are going to have some extremely impressive rain totals. I think there could be some folks that could end up with 10 inches out of this. I won't lie. I think that's a possibility. That's not going to be the norm for everybody. Not everybody's going to get that extreme rain, but some people, I think, could get some hammered with some extremely heavy rain totals like that. In general, I think a good 3 to 5 inches area-wide is what we can expect, with lots of people getting higher amounts than that, most certainly. Here's the way things shape up here for you on the maps, though. There's that cold front today. As it comes towards us tonight, the National Weather Service there believes that it stalls out. I would agree with that. And it just sort of hangs in our area the next couple of days and wobbles back and forth there. And that's what's going to lead these multiple waves to sort of move up from that. Because of that, slight risk of flooding here today, of excessive rainfall. That's a risk of rainfall exceeding the flash flood guidance to the right of a line. And basically what that means is 3 inches or more in an hour or so. That's basically what our flash flood guidance is here. Slight risk of that today. We're under that risk again tomorrow for a chunk of the area, and even under moderate risk just out to our west on Monday. So the flash flood threat is going to stay there. By the way, that flash flood warning there that I showed you folks, this goes through Monday a.m. You can expect that's probably going to go through Tuesday or Wednesday at this point. It'll probably be extended as we get a little bit closer to time. Now here's the way, we'll just sort of end with this. This is what the Weather Prediction Center is suggesting totals could look like, and you can see here, well, there's another 9 to 11 inches here down under certain parts of it. Thankfully, that's not for us, but look at this. This swath here is about 5 inches or so, 7 inches as you get over into here. So in general, a good 4 to 5 inches for most of us across southern Indiana, but just carefully note with me that what you see here is a very, very, very sharp cutoff here. And let me draw that on with maybe a yellow line. I think might be able to draw that better. So here's the heavy rain swath right in here, but notice as you get down in here into Kentucky how sharp that cutoff is. It's again going to depend exactly on where the cold front drapes itself and sets up. Right now the cold front is sort of like this. It is probably going to move in a fashion similar to this and sort of just hang out in this general neck of the woods because of that high pressure off to our east, and that's going to allow for the heavy rains to be positioned sort of in here where they are. But there will be a very sharp cutoff to this between very heavy rain and not that much rain. You're talking less than an inch by the time you get down here into Kentucky. But again, folks, the heavy rain is coming. It's already here for some of us. As we look at those totals, some of us have already cashed in some very impressive totals, and that rain is just going to keep on coming and keep on coming. This wave will eventually move out, but it'll be replaced by more waves, folks. So if you've not gotten wet yet, no worries, you will get wet eventually. It's just a matter of time as we get these waves move over the next course of a few days. Will there be some flash flooding risks? Absolutely. Already some flash flood warnings out there. Expect more of these as these waves roll over us. But again, I think the bigger risk out of this is going to be whenever you have multiple waves coming over. By the time you're on the second or third heavy wave, streams overflowing is going to be the biggest thing. Some river flooding, I think, will be an even bigger problem the longer that we go into this. All right, folks, that is it for this update. Keep it tuned to southernindianaweather.com. the website. Keep it tuned to Facebook. Keep it tuned to Twitter, and we will update you throughout the weekend and into next week as this event unfolds. Don't need the rain, but we're certainly going to get it. I'm meteorologist Michael Wilhite. Have a great day, folks. We'll see you next time.